Hey everyone, Jessica Henry Gray here, and in this short little video I'm going to show you how I have gone around all these different sorts of little watercolor kits. I've tried different things over the years, and they started out big and complicated, and I'm starting to get much smaller now as I've realized that these are heavy and bulky and awkward to carry around. So in this video, I'm showing you my most comprehensive portable watercolor kit. And I will tell you that it is my favorite one. It is the one I grab all the time whenever I go anywhere. So I hope you enjoy it and get something out of it. Thanks. All right, so now I'm going to show you my largest portable watercolor kit. And this is the one that I grab all the time. I have taken this to swim meets, on the airplane, traveling. I love this kit, and so I'm excited to show you this one. So I found this case at TJ Maxx. So it's anybody's guess, but what it is a traveling toiletry kit. And so you'll see when I open it up that there's a little hook that you can hang like on a bathroom hook or whatever. These are really handy. They've got lots of pockets and they're waterproof. So I'm happy. Nice strap. So I'm going to start with the side pockets to show you what I keep in the sides. And I'll just take everything out and show you what it's all about. So in this side, I have a really nice mechanical pencil. And I've got lots of room for eraser. And it's a decent dark lead. Little ruler. Now, all of these colors here, these color pencils, are for like terracotta drawings. They're skin tone, whatever. And so that's why I have these. I do have some good terracotta pencils though in here. I have a nice sanguine stick here that I just keep in this little container that I happen to have. And I put a white in here. This was very sharp and I don't know what happened to it. Apparently it broke. So I will try to keep those sharp, really brittle chalks in a container. This is a mascoid pen, so I can draw on my watercolor paper with the masking fluid and get it really a fine line with that. I don't always use it. In fact, I hardly ever use it, but it's nice to have when you want it. This is a Posca pen, and this is kind of I know you can get smaller tips. This is considered small, but I will often just put a big drop of it somewhere off to the side and dip into it with a tiny brush and paint little highlights on as needed. I like this better than the cheap little white pens. I think that those are a stronger color payout. Now, these are just some other pens. This is a 0.3. This is just a standard writing pen. And this, I will get to, that's it for this side, but I'll show you what this is here in just a minute. So this is a little thing I found on Amazon, 36 colored pencils in this little tube. So I could use these instead of these, but I like the buttery consistency of these better. But yeah, if you just need some colored pencils and you don't want to pack a whole big case, this is handy. And they just fit into a mechanical pencil like this. So I'll take out the lead that's in here and just slip in another lead of any color I want. So I like that. That's kind of a cool feature. I will go over this side of the pocket now, pulling everything out. I have some pens of varying colors and fineness. This is 0.03, 0.05. And then just some other colored pens for writing in my travel journal. Nice colors that I thought were kind of fun. Greens, purples, browns. And this is a watercolor pencil. I like to do thumbnail sketches sometimes, and I might just do this and then use a pen, a watercolor pen, to kind of soften and draw mass in the values, lighter values, darker values. So this is a water pen by Caran d'Ache, and I never know if I'm saying that quite right, but it's the same thing as the Pentel one that I had in my smaller kit, but you squeeze right here and the water fills up in this barrel, and of course you just paint with it. All right, now I have some of my favorite brushes in here, and I'll show you those. So I've got some Sumi brushes. I've got this one that comes to a very sharp fine point. this one is just a fantastic little brush I found at Blick. You get it very wet and it comes to a razor point. That's really fun. This fish, this was once a pen that I bought when I was in art school, 26 years ago. I still have it. It's since been converted into a paintbrush. I took out a really nice sable brush and put it in here. And this is a great one for painting. I like to be creative. This one I found on Cheap Joe's Art Stuff. I like it. It's a nice flat and it's not huge for my case. So that's a good one for that. And then we kind of go down in size. I like to have a nice chiseled edge in my portable kits because that's good for buildings and you can get a nice sharp line. Now, these two are the golden ones of the bag. I love these brushes. They are Escoda, and this is a Winsor Newton Series 7 size 4 sable round. They're both sable. And then these are my synthetic guys. This one is for rubbing out, sort of erasing. This is a really nice chiseled edge. This gets to be very sharp. I like that. And then just some smaller, this is more of a liner. These are, oftentimes instead of inking, I will use a tiny brush instead of an ink pen. This pen is, it's actually a pencil and a pen and a red pen and a black pen and a pencil. And there's a little eraser here at the top. And it's just a really handy pen. Now, when I'm out and about, I will have the little eyeglasses case ready in a pinch. I can just grab it and close up the bag. I don't have to start fishing around through all the pockets to get what I need for just a simple drawing. So in this one, I threw all of my just ultra basic essentials. So I have my white. Now, one more thing that I wanted to show you was this white pencil. They say that these pencils are good for marking fabric. They are a white chalk. I don't know if you can see the fineness of that point, but I've used it on really delicate work such as this drawing little tiny dots in the eyes. You can kind of see maybe a little bit more clearly how fine that is. And another thing I like about these is that after I've done some of this heavier graphic drawing with the darker leads, I can come over it with this really fine chalk and still do some delicate hairs. A lot of times regular white pencils don't draw on the pencil leads, the graphite, quite as well. So I was really excited to find this on Amazon, and they come with a little pack of leads as extra. So I'm happy to have that. And I just wanted to share this special find with you. And there will be a link below for that. I have my this pencil. I did have this one in there, but took it out for something else. But that's usually always in there. This is a pencil eraser. And I know that there's an eraser on this one, but this one doesn't have an eraser, so I get ambidextrous and I'll erase with this one and draw with this hand. Now, this is a pencil sharpener. I found this on Amazon. I love this thing. I would feel really bad if I lost it, but it's nice to know it's on Amazon. You put the this kind of pencil in there, right in the middle. You just have to line it up and you turn it counterclockwise as such. And it gets it to a nice sharp point. So that is a really cool little pencil sharpener. And it's small too. I do have a larger one for, the other pencils. And this thing, I found this little tin in France, and it works perfectly for just a small chunk of kneaded eraser and a larger eraser. So there's that. And this is my quick emergency kit. Help, I'm having an emergency. I need to draw now. All right, so there's that. Okay, now taking all this apart. This is again, I took a folder, cut it down to a smaller folder, and I'll show you in each of these pockets. Colored, this is Canson Mitante pastel paper, but I like the smoother sides. Some people like the rougher, coarser sides. And I like to have a variety of colors readily available. You never know what you're going to be drawing, that you might want different colors. some watercolor paper. Now these were taken out of, I'll show you the paper, came out of the Bauhong watercolor pad of paper, and I just love this paper. It is so beautiful and has such a rich texture. Like anything I paint on, it just takes a while to soak in, and I can work with it a bit. It is really becoming one of my favorites. It's pure cotton, and that's what you want in your watercolor paper. I've had some other brands and other things that are not cotton. In fact, this that I'm using down here is one that I accidentally bought, and I don't know what it's made of. I hate it. The water just sort of pools and doesn't soak in. So go for the cotton. It's really, you'll be happy you did. So that's that. I also have Arches, however you pronounce it. This is also cold press, and it's just rougher. It's not rough. This is rougher than this, but I do like this a lot. This is sort of a lead in the industry of watercolor paper. So I tear some out of there and cut it to size for here. Now this one is Strathmore, and you can get these on Amazon. I love this paper. I love. I will continue to buy this. This is it's heavy. You can see how heavy it is. It's great. I've even done oil paint studies on these. I do put a coat of clear gesso on this side so that I can paint on it and the oil doesn't just absorb in. But yeah, the smooth side is just stunning, and it's nice. It's heavy paper. You can you can really work that paper hard. This is the oil paint I did. So I will get some more of that when I run out. And then on this side, again, it's just more paper. I have some hot press in here. This is a heavy, I think this is 300-pound hot press I had for illustrating. So there's that. This little book I bought in France, and I'm working on filling up. It's all right for watercolor paper, but I don't know that I would oil paint on it. You could put the clear acrylic on it, gesso if you want. But yeah, it's beautiful, lovely. I can't tell you where to go and get it because I got it in France. But there's that. I do keep it in here. Now, this is my board that I paint on. So we'll just set those clips there. And it opens up like that. So we'll get to that when I take everything out. I have a small little sketchbook. You can pick these up anywhere. In the 4-packs you get. I like to have just a small little thing when I'm waiting at the dentist or just for some quick sketches. I went to swim meets, and you're sitting in the bleachers and there's all kinds of anatomical, there's legs and feet and things you can look at. So this is a nice quick grab for quick sketches. Okay, so now getting into watercolor, I'll show you what I have in here. I'll take everything out. There's a pocket up here in the zipper lid that I put just small things in that I want to grab. And here's the hook you can hang up in the bathroom so that your toiletry bag would just hang open like that. So in that little pocket, I have some more pencil leads for my mechanical pencil. And then I have some blending stumps. I don't use these. I prefer not to because it just kind of creates more smudgy. And I like to have a more delicate line for my shading, but they're nice to have some. I have my roll of tape, and I have used that quite a bit. So I refill it as I need to. I have a little tiny bag of salt for just that effect if you want to sprinkle salt on your watercolor. This is the tiniest flask I've ever seen. I bought this in Ireland at a gas station, and I keep it full whenever it's empty or I've taken some out of it. I fill it back up again. I got this tiny syringe on arttoolkit.com, and so this is really handy for filling up in there. I used to have to use this larger funnel to fill these up, these little flasks, any flask. It's a flask funnel, but it's bulky in my bag, and it just doesn't work. I mean, it works for what its purpose is, but I don't like how big it is. So this syringe is a better option for that. So there's my wee little flask from Ireland. Okay, so then I've got my double palette cups, and I put both halves, I put water in, and I keep these filled with water in my bag so that I can just grab it and go, and I've always got water. Keep a bag of business cards. Now the wrist cuff we've talked about. I like to keep it right here while I'm painting, and I can just wipe my brush on it and it dries and you're good to go next time. I have some paper towels. These I do keep in here for wiping off my palette because I don't really want to wipe my palette, extra puddles in my palette with this. So I'll use a paper towel and just throw it away when it's wet. All right, so let me move that over. This is a little spray bottle. It actually came in a glasses cleaning kit, which I cleaned up very well, and I just have water in it. So here I have these my little palettes, and I have them being held together by strong magnets. So I take these magnets off, and I will use these in a minute. They're brittle and they're gonna break, so I buy a pack of them, and when I can't use them anymore, I'll just get a new one. So here's where we are. This is my little palette that I found at an antique store, and I've got the little tiny pans that I bought through Art Toolkit. They come in a little pocket like this, and they're just little pans. And I buy the tubes of paint, the colors that I like, and I just put them in there and let them air dry. So that is really handy. The larger ones, I ran out of the little things. You just buy the larger pans like this on Amazon, and then you can put the magnet on it. So to use this, I put a 1/2 inch strip of single-sided adhesive magnet strip on these, and they just sit like this. I like to paint on the silver base instead of this gold here. So we're gonna move all these up here. You can see they're all stuck on their little individual Tetris magnetic strips. We'll move those guys up there. And so these are the colors that I have in here. And I can just leave that right here while I'm working. And then this one is my wee tiny little gouache palette. And so I don't mind letting them air dry and harden because I can use them just the same. Yes, I know a lot of people do like the gouache while it's still wet. I'm surprised how long it's taking some of these to dry in here. I could actually use these. This has been a few days that I put these in. But you just activate them with water or my tiny little spray bottle. And just before I begin a session, I like to spray everything down. And it gives it a chance to sort of wake up. Now in this container, this is still part of my drawing kit. I have just some nice sanguines, some green. I got these green sticks in France, same with the white, as well as these. So again, this is a little tin I found at an antique store, and I like it. It's small. It just does the trick for what I want. And then they all hold together with the little magnets. Now this is a beautiful little kit that my daughter gave me, made in Germany. And this isn't really essential that I bring out in my portable kit, but sometimes it's just fun to play. All of these are duochrome, gorgeous, buttery watercolors. This row here in the middle, I ordered these off of Amazon, or I'm sorry, Etsy. This woman makes these paints in England, and then these came from Germany. And so they just fit conveniently right in the middle. And I love these colors, so I do take these with. Plenty of room. Now, I'll show you how this all gets set up. So I calculated this size for my bag and for the size of paper that I wanted to work on. I don't want to work too small, but I don't want to work too big either. So I clip it down. And then this, I use the magnets for. Put the magnets behind here. And it holds on like that. Pretty slick. I could do either palette. It doesn't matter. I could do that one, whatever. Okay, so I just have a little bit of watercolor in there right now. Okay, so that is how easy that is. So I sprayed some of these. Get some nice color going here. That is my ultramarine blue. And this is that beautiful am I saying it right? Watercolor paper. I love how the washes that are created with this paper, these little settlements in the paint, or in the textured surface, are gorgeous. This is one of my favorite colors by Daniel Smith. This is Amethyst. Watch this. It's just such a gorgeous lavender. Look at that shade. Isn't that beautiful? And when it dries, you hold it in the light and it kind of sparkles. It's actually made with lavender. I'm sorry, it's actually made with amethyst. This is Jadeite. This is one of my favorites too. Look at that shade of green. Isn't that stunning? Oh, I love that. I always try to hold my watercolor paper at a slant. That's why I prefer to pick these up and don't want to just lay it flat. When I do a wash, I try to drag my wash down. So I start with the line at the top and I get a puddle. And I drag that puddle down. And that's really essentially the challenge. That's all there is to watercolor painting. Just drag your puddle. Drag that puddle all the way down, or wherever you need to go with it. Clean your brush off, wipe it off, and then you just let the brush suck up that puddle. And this is a new color I got. A rich, beautiful brown. Let's see what happens if we mix those. All right. And that is how slick this little watercolor kit is. And you'll find your own things and you'll make your little kit totally unique and personal to you and what you like. Now I do keep this drawing book in my backpack as well. These are my sketches I've done on airplanes that I love having this handy for anything. I've drawn horses from life, my daughter, thumbnail sketches, more sketches on the plane. Again, this is the toned paper. That's that Strathmore paper that I've used the highlighter chalk on. So I keep this with, just because sometimes I want a little bit bigger area to work on. And that wraps up the last of these 3 videos on watercolor kits. I hope you found these to be useful, and we'll get out and do some watercolor sketches. All right, I'll see you next time.